One more question.
Oh, yes.
Could you give me the sentence again of what the entire will means, the divine feminine?
The divine feminine? Which part?
Well, no, what the entire wheel means. Like if you break down.
Oh, the wheel. So when you get Rota, Taro, Ator, Orat, it means the secret law of the divine. The secret law is kept within the divine feminine, which is Shekinah. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. So here I have some charts. As I said, I wish I had more to show you guys, but I'm going to show you how the paths on the tree of life correspond to each breastplate stone, and I'll also show you how many indigenous cultures also have a tree of life. You can actually pass this around if you'd like to show them. And while you're doing that, I'll show you something else. Just I have there a chart you can pass around. Pardon me, again, I only have limited charts. But each major culture, the Norse, the Babylonian, the Mesopotamian, they all had their tree of life, and I have copies of it there. You can pass that around. Now I'm going to show you guys how to build the tree of life itself and what it represents. So, in the beginning there was one sphere, one sephirah they call them, and it was called Keter, the all-knowing. Keter was emanated from Ein Sof, which is supreme ultimate. Okay. So Keter wanted to understand itself, and the first creation of duality occurred. So Keter and the divine feminine, called Daath, like the Hebrew, like the Kemetic goddess Ma'at, formed like a figure 8 and created Chochmah, wisdom, Binah, understanding, Chesed, which is mercy, Gevura, Tipheret, which is joy and glory, Netzah, splendor, Hod, Yesod, foundation, and Malkuth, the physical earth. So as God went down, it lost its density. And this is the primordial world, Malkuth, which means the kingdom. There's a scripture which says, look low, not there, look low, not here, for the kingdom of heaven is within you. So literally, your virtuous deeds allow you to ascend or descend. Okay? Sorry, it's really hot in here. A lot of people, right? Sorry about that. Okay. So here's Keter, Chochmah, Binah, Hesed.
What does Hesed stand for?
Hesed represents charity or giving. Gevura, Tipheret, which is like the sun. Netzah, Yesod, and Hod. And finally Malkuth. So these all existed in perfect equilibrium. Perfect equilibrium. Keter, Chochmah, Binah. Unfortunately, every time the Ein Sof created a new sephirah, the shards of it burst. So shards of antimatter, you can call them antimatter. So those antimatter shards, called kelipot or shells, burst under Malkuth because it had a lower density. Malkuth formed with Gevura. Gevura means severity. So severity without mercy creates chaos. So those demonic shards, we'll call them demonic shards, they formed with Gevura, and form their own tree of life, called the Kelipot tree. So sometimes when you're reading Taro, you don't know which tree you're reading from. You could be reading from the Kelipot tree, which is important to use your angelic evocations. Within each tree of life paper, you have densities and the names of God. God takes on a different form as it descends. Now, to stop the Kelipot, we'll say the antimatter from taking over the tree of life, God had to place a sword here to save Chochmah, and the sword bent inwards because, again, it had to follow the lightning flash. So the sword accidentally weakened the state of the divine feminine Shekinah and Daath. And the Shekinah, Daath, fell under the kingdom of Malkuth. It was too late to save her, basically.
Is that what we know in Christianity as Lucifer?
Exactly. Luz, the angel of light. It's a Latin word for light. So, that aspect fell into the kingdom of shards. Okay? So our goal as a practitioner of Kabbalah is to use Tikkun to resurrect Shekinah and bring her back. When you do negative things, you feed your 5 jinas, the poisons like gluttony, greed, anger, envy, violence, right? You empower the dark tree of life which exists under the Kitzheim. Okay? So it's important to never, well, I can't say never, we all have our negative aspect to us. But just keep in mind you'll be empowering the lesser tree, okay? So let me just erase this. Do you guys have all this down? Not yet? Okay. It's on your paper. to bring her back. And you do that with Devikut, clinging to God, the Ansel. The goal of Kabbalah is also to you can make significant improvements in your life. You bring and unify people together. You can also heal people using Kabbalah and the Tree of Life. There have been times where my mentors have taught me how to utilize the centers of God and how to access these channels. Much like the Ida and Pingala. Have you heard of the Ida and Pingala? The serpent energy in Hinduism, you have the 7 chakras, right? So you have the crown, then you have the third eye, then you have the throat, then you have the heart, then you have, I know I'm drawing the heart really big, the heart, and then you have the solar plexus, and then you have, what are we on? So crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, genital, and finally root. So, if you were to draw one serpent here, and then draw another serpent here, you have what we call the Kundalini, right? And the Kundalini energy represents the it's why we have 7 holes on the face. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's to show you that you can utilize these Kundalini forces. I can't draw a nose so well, so don't make fun of me. But here we go. Is that pretty good? Hey, not bad. All right. So here we go. I know. So within this nose here, you have the Ida and the Pingala. The Ida and Pingala represent the sun and lunar breath. Okay? So the sun and lunar breath allow you to access what we call chi or prana, or the smaller chakras within the body, which are called meridians. So that's how you access them. That's how you use the life essence of the Ein Sof, the supreme ultimate. Ein Sof is compassionate. So it's a never-ending energy that just circulates. Life and death, you see all the time, it circulates all the time. Like the Mayan Ouroboros, right? It's the serpent eating its tail. Like if you see on the world card, you guys are familiar with Taro. The world card, you see the reef, right? It's the crown. It represents completion, unification. It represents Shiva-Shakti, which is the dancer of death, the cosmic dancer, as you guys have all seen. But Shiva-Shakti is the ultimate goal, to unify your Shekinah and male your Shekinah and God-like potential. So you'll see in all cultures, it's all about unifying the male-female energies. That's how you master healing. Most people have what Carl Jung called the animus and anima. Most people, if they have their animus or anima off, then they're thrown off. They can't function in society. And we designed a system where we have no floor, no real ground. We walk on cement. That detaches us from the Shekinah, from the divine feminine energy. The radio transmissions. We don't have enough negative ions in the city. We have an over excessive amount of positive ions. And as a result, we're unbalanced. Our animus is off. Okay? That's why a lot of people are looking for answers. They're looking for stones, crystals. And the ancient people knew that the stones were stars. There's as many stars in the sky as there are stones in the earth, because they mirror, they're exact reflections, as above, so below. The magician card, bringing down the cosmic light force. The card for the magician, the magician is Beth, the Hebrew word meaning house. In the beginning, Bereshit, which represents duality. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the universe. That's duality right there. Elohim means gods, not one God. So therefore, it's always about reviving that consciousness, that thought, that knowing. Wait a second. If God is a man, how can God understand female emotions? This doesn't make sense. This is why we're finding that this is the temple, in fact, and revitalizing the Shekinah is what we're supposed to do. So you got the animus, Carl Jung, who also was a Kabbalist, but they wouldn't say that, but he was, because he understood the value of the tree of life. Okay, where's my paper? It vanished somewhere. There.
It's on its way.
It's on its way back up. Okay, so you have those aspects here.